Hey boys, Vampire Elich reporting in. We are back with more Grim Boys here. Streams are gonna be starting late for a few days, I think. Gotta prepare myself for the next Sabaton. Not even sure it's gonna be 20 hours again. Maybe 18. If I put Attila as the incentive for falling asleep, or the other way around, I might manage 20 hours again. Woohoo! So, according to stats, I've been studying for 2,000 days. How about 22 hours? It's tough. It's tough. 20 hours seems realistic. 2,000 days of streaming. On this day. Average stream is still apparently over 9 hours. Even if we're lately, I've been streaming a little bit less, chilling with other stuff. Still over 9 hours. I guess we get carried away sometimes with long streams. I do try to be, try to at least have 180 to 200 hours of streaming a month. Although I know I should take breaks sometimes. So what is going on here? We're spreading the plague, Nurgle's love, to all the corners of the world, while waiting for Dame Urson to roar, so we can go, do those, super exciting, amazing, fantastic survival battles. Okay. I'm thinking of having a night walk, so I'm probably gonna have a short stream as well. One of these days, when we switch back to a little bit different schedule, we're gonna be going probably to regular 7-hour streams. This looks like a sub return. How many enemies do we have right now? You're gonna lurk around Maximir? Nah, I'm on the other side of the city. What the hell?
Can't do much this month, but happy anniversary, Ayaya.
Well, thank you very much, Nurgle. You all did plenty. Love you too. Ayaya. 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 23 wars. Still 23. How the hell do you even get in this game under 20 wars with demons during the Demon Souls, narrative? I don't even know. Everybody just goes hostile. You clear 2 enemies, you get 2 more. During the rounds, you get like additional 6 to 8 enemies. Almost like they want to give you some kind of illusion of, being busy while being ignored by not expanding, right? Yeah. So Case Alexander has 15 units garrison. 15 units somehow. Because of the outpost. Okay, it's just a basic outpost though. What is this plague? Bowel Steep? It's from the Legion of Chaos. Wonder if our army can get Bowel Steep. The Bowel Steep plague is pretty straightforward and just works. Motherland Sacrifice. Take Dajin. It's here. So Kislev is in this area, and they were pushed into Legion of Chaos, but they didn't finish them off. There sometimes fails to finish off some factions. This is the only faction that has 2 souls. The reason why the Legion of Chaos is losing, there are actually 2 reasons. Because Kislev AI is OP for some reason when you're playing demons, and the second reason is the Legion of Chaos is doing the souls, while the Great Orthodoxy is ignoring it. They're not doing it. They're actually not even part of the mechanic right now. But if we, when we destroy the Ice Court, they are gonna be the ones that is going to join the Demon Prince Souls thing.
I serve only the motherland.
This is the last Kislev army. At least the last from the Ice Court. We have 8200 income, huh? Must be a good cycle this right now, just before that. Just before that. It's turn 80. We got 48 settlements, so nearly 50 settlements expanded by turn 80. Yeah, very hard faction to play. You know, when the people were telling me about Nurgle, there was just like I don't know, they were just creating some nightmare scenarios. Like, you're doomed. First time Nurgle. Brutal. Can't even beat dwarves. How the hell you lose to dwarves with this faction? I have no idea. Probably Wind of Death spammers, every single one of them.
Death, decay, rebirth.
Just some of these Nurglings. They do not have much damage. The damage I would consider low. As in, it's not even average. But they are really resilient. This is a very resilient faction. We can summon a rank 7 units if I'm not mistaken. Maybe rank 8 already. We can summon a rank 8 unit. Summon means recruit. This is how this unit faction recruits. Just think of it as a faction-wide raise dead. But the units come at 40% strength, with the exception of Nurglings that come at 80% strength. I'm a little bit surprised and disappointed. You know, I mean, I'm not surprised really, considering the devs currently and the state of Warhammer 3 technologies. They didn't offer us technologies to increase that 40% to 50 or 60. As you can see, a recruitment health plus 40% for Nurgling units. Adding recruitment health bonus to technology would have been the right move, but these developers have created a very lazy and inspiring technology, so we can't really expect that much out of them. I think increasing recruitment health by like 5%, 10%, 50%, and ultimately 20% should have been the way of Nurgle technologies. So instead of summoning a unit with 4%, once you have all technologies, summon them about 6%, maybe 70% highest. Also would be exciting technologies that actually feel like they would be adding something to the faction. But instead, you get boring shit like 10 growth in settlements with chaotic climates. Damn.
I must test.
Let's check a province here, how much growth we have as Nurgle. 185, that's above average. This one is fully grown, this one is fully grown. 165, we're not even trying here. If we can spread the plague to get this close to 1000. So yeah, this is clearly a faction and needs additional 10 growth in various climates.
It is treason to command.
I always thought technology should be something exciting to unlock. Something that will benefit your faction, not just another +1 mine, you know, +1 here, +1 there.
Discharge strengths.
Warhammer 3 is full of +1 technologies. Hey, Jan.
Legions
Thank you.
everywhere. Decay comes.
This guy is disciplined. I haven't seen a Discipline Plague written, you know. It's feel like it's a little bit OCD, but it will make me really happy to see a Discipline Plague written dead. But we see a Tactician and Corpulent. Personal Sycophant is on Pox Fulcrum. Pox Fulcrum. We've cleared this area here, so where are Pox Fulcrum gonna go now? Like, I feel like by the time we get the 4th soul, we can conquer the world. It'll take 50 hours. Probably close to 80 though.
March.
8 hours spamming end turn and doing survival battles, or 80 hours grinding the world. Tempting. I'm really enjoying this faction. Really enjoying this faction, and happy to see that the Nurgle is actually resilient, strong faction. Slaanesh was a little bit disappointing since the charges were bugged, but no doubt it's been fixed now. Somewhat fixed. But Seduction alone was very strong. Just the faction fell off on the battlefield. Yeah. And you apply most of the movement bonuses, especially from an ancillary. This bonus applies only when the movement points are reset, which means they start return. So, since we are using Personal Sycophant and how the switch of the ancillaries work, we've been maxing it. You know, if I didn't forget. But having Personal Sycophant allowed us to have 8 renowned and feared lords. And sometimes rank a lord from rank 3 to 20 in 3 to 5 battles. Which is incredible.
Strongest Rottara.
I find it very curious how Seduce Slaanesh were at war with this faction, and this faction was basically just waiting in their forest, not doing anything. And then we joined the war to, you know, support Seduce Slaanesh to get bonus relations, as in to avoid conflict between us and Seduce Slaanesh. And now, what they called?
Not possible.
What they called? Hold on, just blocking on the word right now. Yes, isolationist people from the Witch's Wood, supposed to be enclave inside the Empire, never leave their forest. I repeat, never. So long are their lives, so perfect is their isolation, that the affairs of the outsiders seem trivials in the extreme. I repeat, extreme. Forest dweller. So, the moment the player is involved, half of their sense is gone, traits don't work, gotta go attack the player. And I feel like Wood Elves, this minor faction here that's supposed to just guard their forest, never leave their forest because they're not supposed to be a major faction. The fact they start invading player territories on the other side of the world tells you how broken this player focus is in Warhammer 3. This is like a primary example how broken it is. One thing is when the Empire is crossing other Empire territories to reach Kislev territory to fight the enemy, which is the player, as in maybe being of the Chaos faction. But when the Wood Elves are leaving their forest, leaving the Empire, entering Kislev territories to attack the player, while they are outnumbered, I don't know, 40 to 1, it's beyond bizarre. What's worse, they sometimes have enemies on their border or closer enemies, and yet they drop everything. Stirland drops the vampires, vampires drop Stirland, and they all invade the player. Player might have literally 10 times their number, the resources, the settlements, and they will still invade across the map. Broken, 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 and I don't use that word lightly. This example of the Wood Elves is like the main example how broken this is in Warhammer 3. These traits mean nothing. Attacking the player and, you know, trying to grift the player, you know, just think about it like this. From developer perspective, let's try to justify this. Mr. Player, you have chosen to play on legendary difficulty, which means you're gonna have to put, you know, close eye on relations. But you're playing demons, you're out of war with all these factions anyway, so this doesn't matter. Mr. Player, you chosen to play legendary, means everybody's gonna come at you. This is no longer, you know, a Warhammer world. This is now a game. We have AI and we have the player. And the AI has to make the player's life difficult, even if it does not make any sense. But, you know, in my experience, where I've played this game, you know, pretty much my life, seeing these armies come to my territories, it's basically like, I don't know, somebody's mailing you money, free money, and experience, and items. And on top of this not making any sense, it makes game easier, not harder. But why am I complaining about this? I'm complaining about this for two reasons. First reason, it makes no sense. The second reason, it makes the game tedious. Tedious. Because there's already so many battling going on, 20 plus enemies. We don't need factions from the other side of the world invading us as well. Honestly, with this broken ass system, I am shocked. Absolutely shocked. The northern provinces are not invading us already at this point. It must be that their trait actually works. Actually works, and it's not broken like with one of the Wood Elves. Playing on games on highest difficulty, I do accept some amount of tedium, and I think some tedium is actually good as long as it helps you. But when the tedium is happening because of broken ass systems, you know, that's the worst kind of tedium. Got another Talisman of Endurance. I think I want to have make sure the Q-Get's army gets all the good stuff. This guy is very resilient. I gotta say, Goddesson Nurgle is very solid. You can feel the resilience and the slow grinder. When I see Cultists of Nurgle, I have to say I'm a little bit disappointed with in Cultists of Slaanesh. I feel like Cultists of Slaanesh should have a much higher bonus to anti-infantry, whatever it makes it, you know, more damaging. I feel like Cultists of Slaanesh should be on the level of Dead Hag, but it's not. When it comes to personal prowess. Goddesson Nurgle has a medium Chaos Steed, so I get some, you know, get a horse with a bit of armor, health, and good speed. It's good. It's good. I think you should always take it.
Specimens required.
Calcium Nurgle has regeneration, it has bugged poison, and it has solid defense. Doesn't matter if it's a slightly larger target. That hag needs gear to excel. That hags without gear, they suck. I'm gonna hit Kills Alexander here. I'm curious if the ball slip will spread on us. Can you imagine a Nurgle army dying from battle slip? Holy shit! Let's go. I wanna see. His army looks like has been getting killed by this plague.
2,000 more.
Hey, Josh Yankee, thank you very much. Yoo-hoo. Much a good tip. They got one glaive unit up. Standard of the Empty Step, Greaves Vanguard Deployment. Where's the second start? I've only been playing this campaign not a lot of hours, but there's a lot of things happening, you know, a lot of wars. We've been mixing things as well, so it's been a while. If you are playing Warhammer 3 and you're not just taking 2 or 3 provinces and enter, Port Rift, Survival Battle, enter, Rift, Survival Battle, expect campaigns to go very long. Because you're gonna have lots of enemies, lots of grinding, and if you're expanding, it's gonna be a long campaign no matter what, even if you're still doing rifts. If you're gonna be expanding and creating an empire, you're gonna be fighting lots of wars, and it's gonna be long turns, lots of hours. I not mean it's gonna take a lot of turns. You can probably conquer the whole map in under 200 turns. Oh shit, we did that. You can conquer the whole map in 200 turns, but it's gonna take a lot of hours. A lot of effort, a lot of work. Why not just try some challenge campaign restrictions to make it more interesting? Challenge restrictions? Well, I'm already challenging myself to actually play survival battles. It's a huge mental strain on my head. It's like, you know, Professor X fighting a mental battle with another mutant of his power. Imagine adding some kind of challenges, house rules to this. Challenge itself is to play the game right now. Finish campaigns, get achievements, and hope Immortal Empires will release and they will not add new achievements to the realm of chaos. This campaign would be closer to finish if we didn't accept personal sycophant. So you have to understand that. We accept the personal sycophant and we accepted what goes with that. Meaning longer campaign. If you're not going to use personal sycophant to conquer, what the fuck are you gonna accept in the first place? Just accept the soul, one soul quicker to finish the campaign. If you accept the personal sycophant, if you accept the sword, you are automatically accepting a lower campaign. Depending how much you're conquering, this could add probably additional 50 hours to the campaign.
Oh my god! Have you seen that shit? Holy shit! What the hell?
The next campaign is planned, but I have like zero desire to start anytime soon. It will start it when it's planned. If this game gets corrupted or this game campaign gets finished today, I have zero desire to start the next campaign outside when it's being planned. Because we are trying to play less of this game, not more. Imagine getting burned out on Warhammer 3. Holy shit. Shoot me now. I mean, you see what happened to Legend. Do I have to say more? Pace yourself with this game and pray Immortal Empires will not be broken on release. Speaking of next campaign, it's planned. Grand Cathay on Sabaton stream late this month. I'm looking forward to see Grand Cathay, and that's gonna be the only other campaign we're gonna play this month, and probably for the next 2 months. We are going to probably play Zinch into Immortal Empire's release. I'm not gonna play Khorne before the release Blood, and I don't give a shit about Demon Prince. I'm gonna play it at some point. Like I said, I'm planning to finish all the achievements, but I'm taking my time. The game is not great right now, and we don't have to burn ourselves out on something that's mediocre at best. It doesn't deserve replay value, you know what I'm saying? It was great in the first 100 hours. Warhammer 2, if you haven't played it, you have shit ton of content there. It's the best Total War so far. Warhammer 3 is only for somebody who already play shit on Warhammer 2. And even now, when people are starting to realize there's no replay value in this game, it's repetitive, getting tedious the more you play it, people are going back to Warhammer 2. That's why Warhammer 2 has more players right now than Warhammer 3.
New position.
I said yesterday why this campaign is gonna be a longer one, cause the idea of Kislev invading the Chaos Realms, Chaos Wastes, due to their numbers, due to their size, due to the stage of the game, it's bizarre. We are the demons and we are supposed to invade Kislev, we are supposed to destroy it, even the campaign takes 50 more hours than just ending turns and getting a victory condition. And that's why we're invading Kislev, that's why we are destroying them. Nothing more ridiculous than AI sending their arms into Chaos Wastes. From the days of Warhammer 1, it still gives me some serious brain damage. There was a brutal player focus on the Warriors of Chaos back in Warhammer 1 at the start, which made the Warriors of Chaos kinda really silly to play. You would sometimes have 10 armies following around. Hey Madara, thank you. And sometimes they would even enter the Chaos Wastes, even if it meant their certain death. I have seen like 5 or 6 different states of Warriors of Chaos. The worst state was during the early Warhammer 1, when they would just be on you constantly, and sometimes you need to flee into the Chaos Wastes. There was also a period of that during Warhammer 2, where you would have close to 20 armies within one province range, especially if you're not doing well enough, as in have 3+ armies on of your own. So you'd have even Hexoatl, Hek factions from Lastria going to Norska to fight you as Warriors of Chaos. I have actually seen a screenshot of close to 20 armies from various factions, about 6+ factions, have players pinned in Norska. That was the 2 worst times for Warriors of Chaos for the player. This got toned down over the years. And I think the current version of Warriors of Chaos in Warhammer 2 are probably the best of all of them. But still, the Warriors of Chaos is a very lacking faction, because the Chaos Corruption is weak. And if they don't fix Chaos Corruption in Immortal Empires, like for the Warriors of Chaos will never be strong. They need something that gives their Chaos Corruption some really powerful stuff, similar to Hearthstones, Bloodgrounds, and I'm hoping that they're gonna deliver. Multiplayer or single player, which one is best? Well, this game has option for multiplayer, like most computer games. Total War is made for single player. Single player campaign experience. The Plague Bearers summon, even with their short duration, has been surprisingly effective this campaign. Have I played the Age of Mythology? Yes. I played it back in the day. Maybe like under 40 hours. Our army has too much physical resistance, so the enemy can't kill us. We currently have 20, plus another 20 from the Plague, 20 are demons, and we get another 25 from Blessing of Matlan, which is one of the buffs from the treasure events. This is basically a ghost level toughness, but we have 850, 400 health, which is what ghosts don't have. So incredibly hard to kill. Playing this faction, I'm honestly surprised they gave Nurglings 8400 health. The more I play, the more I wonder why this unit has so much health. So in other words, unless the enemy has magic, they will not be able to kill this army. And these are most basic units. Think of this as zombies of this faction, except they're like 5 times more powerful, and they're more numerous. Easy to recruit. Can you imagine having a unit that's easy to recruit than zombies, but 5 times more powerful? I really hope they remove zombies from the vampire roster and makes them just abilities, summon, or ability for the army. The zombies are crippling to the vampire scouts, especially AI and the Goddessons. I mean, don't underestimate zombies. 5 zombies can actually kill a lot of units. So this is why I would say 5 times. It will take a long time, but 5 zombies could do it. I would say about 5 times. A swordsman would make short work out of 2 units of zombies. But you add a 3rd zombie and there's a game changer. I think a zombies should be a special mechanic for the vampires, and I hope they don't miss on the next rework. Zombie should not be a recruitable unit, not in the campaign. It cripples the AI, it cripples the Goddessons, and makes the vampire counts look bad. Especially with 3 skeletons existing. So zombies should be a mechanic. Either a swarm mechanic or tied to dark magic as summons on the battlefield. Think it like this, when you compare zombies to skeletons, you know what is the difference? The skeletons are just better than zombies. It's a really identical unit, but the skeletons are just better. Think of it like zombies are just lower tier skeletons. And what's worse, they're slow. They don't even have the toughness to support their speed. They do have a little bit increased health. The numbers honestly only support multiplayer. And I don't even know how they use the multiplayer. The only reason why it comes to my mind for the zombies existing is multiplayer. Well, sometimes the player will use zombies to summon them to create big piles, and because you have nothing else available. But their uses are so limited in campaign, and they just end up handicapping you because of the existence of Goddessons and because the AI will use them. By adding a zombie to the army, you make auto-resolve worse. Doesn't matter how strong is your army, by adding a zombie to the army, auto-resolve gets worse. I've had multiple examples in realistic auto-resolve scenarios where I had a proper army and I would add a zombie army and auto-resolve will get worse. But the role of the zombies is to die, not to cripple the other army. But that's what they do. Zombies still used in Black Coach? No. No. Black Coach is a terrible design unit, but I still think it has more use than zombies. At least it's pretty to look at. You can actually get a use for Black Coach. But the Black Coach doesn't fit in the army because the cavalry is better. You can use Black Coach to just move between the enemy archers. And it'll be in that better than the Knights. But the Knights have better uses overall. If you've seen my last campaign, big one with the vampires, not the one we played with the cavalry when we reached critical mass early, but the one where we used a lot of knights, we didn't use Wind of Death, and Black Coach cannot compete with that. This is a single entity that lacks damage. So why the Black Coach exists? Multiplayer. It's balanced for multiplayer. I think there should be a technology that gives the Black Coach a serious buff or makes it fly. If the Black Coach was flying, toggle between flying and non-flying, even on the current stats would be a big buff. But since they care about multiplayer, you know what they should do? They should give the Black Coach like serious physical resistance via technology. I think that would make it right. Because it's nice to have a unit that just goes through units and disrupts enemy range. I feel like the role of the Black Coach in the army, we already tried to, you know, give it the role, how it would, you know, fit the army. I will add another one. Why not have a Black Coach used for main disruption? When it's really hard to kill unless you have magic and it just moves and it disrupts everything. Sometimes having a unit to do that is nice, but if it doesn't have enough toughness, it'll just get cancelled by large units. So I would not say that the zombies or carrion is more useful than the Black Coach. You can still use it, but you have to adjust the whole army to use it. But it fits in the category of try hard. Zombies will just die. Zombies will just die. Carrion doesn't work because of legendary. But the Black Coach can work. But it's one of those try-hard units where you just clearly have better units on lower tier, which fit the same, almost same role. Carrion never worked because of bell difficulty. Never. Well, if you're desperate and you need to try hard, you can put any unit to work. Hey, Fern. Carrion needs technology that will grant it like 10 leadership. And then it'll work a little bit better. Then leadership and probably attack. And they don't even have battle skill. I think leadership and attack buff to Carrion would make it okay. Carrion doesn't have... Carrion suffers from low number count. And that's okay as a low number count. But you can't put a low number count unit to low attack. It doesn't work. And it won't be able to deal damage, which means it'll start losing automatically. And as a flying unit, they always start losing leadership the moment they land, because they get surrounded, flanked in every single direction. Which means the Carrion, in a lot of situations, instantly loses all his base leadership, all of it. And combined with the bell difficulty, it just doesn't work. So to fix Carrion, they need the technology, or at least the bell skill, that buffs its attack and leadership. So it doesn't automatically start losing, and doesn't automatically lose all its base leadership to start crumbling. So it has poor battle leadership because it's undead. Lands, loses 20 leadership on contact, and then start losing leadership because it's losing the battle because it can attack. And then it starts losing leadership because it's taking damage. Meaning it's one of those units in the game will just instantly disintegrate in some situations. So, in other words, it's just a terrible unit. And they just left in that state without trying to fix it. The Black Coach can work. The Black Coach can work, Black Coach can deal damage, Black Coach can disrupt. But is it worth the micro time on the Black Coach when you can have Vampire doing the micro time, your Lord doing the micro time, heck, Terrorgeist already outperforms it twice, or the Knights. Positioning Mortis Engine probably would be better more your time. It's not worth your micro time. Might be worth in a multiplayer, who knows. So it comes late, it's expensive, and there's like at least a half a dozen other units that's worth more on your micro time on the battle. It's a cool unit, but it's just lacking. Its role in the army, it just doesn't work on the campaign. Six ranks, look at that. I feel like this guy got 20 ranks in just a couple battles.
Play tool.
It's our hero situation. We can get 4 cultists all of a sudden. I guess we have expanded that much. We're in a tier 3 settlement to recruit cultists. That's our closest tier 3 anyways. It's here. Every army should have a play cults of Nurgle.
Cultist of the Fly Lord. Disease liberates.
Terrorgeist is not even about the bread attack. It's flying and it has enough power to deal damage and tank. The only problem is the initial leadership. It makes it horrible. So once you get ranks and the army gets better and that leadership goes over 60, the Terrorgeist is very good. Just one Terrorgeist in the army can do a lot of work. The bread is just extra. It was never really its thing. It's just extra. The fact you can drop an attacker from the sky that actually deals damage makes Vargov look bad.
Oh my god. Have you seen that shit? Holy shit. What the hell?
Feels really good when you get that rank 7 Terrorgeist, even with nerfed bonus to leadership and attack, and you send it on a unit of Chaos Knights, and you know it's gonna win without the need to babysit. That confidence and that assurance that it's going to win, it feels really good. I mean, you have to get experience at the game to know these interactions, and when you send a Terrorgeist and then you know it's going to win, and you know it's not going to take damage, it just feels good. Not many units can do that. You're gonna click on a Vargov to attack there, it's probably gonna get stuck and interrupted on the way there. Terrorgeist is just gonna fly over and hit that target for sure. Terrorgeist can also land from one range unit to another range unit. Sometimes its role is not to do damage, just to disrupt. The only issue with Terrorgeist, if you ask me, always has been its leadership is terrible. There's a tier 5 unit that has 40 leadership. I can blame this one on the copy paste, but when you look at the DLC units, Mortis Engine has 60 leadership. Blood Knights, 65 leadership. Then you have Terrorgeist, 40 leadership. What the fuck? What the fuck? This is an old design from Warhammer 1 which doesn't really work anymore. I think the idea behind the low leadership on Terrorgeist and Vargulf comes because they have regeneration. They had some kind of weird, you know, mentality back then regarding these things. I'll give you a couple of examples. Vargulf has regeneration, has 40 leadership, Warhammer 1 unit. Terrorgeist has regeneration, 40 leadership, Warhammer 1 unit. You could debate this. These are undead units. But look at their counterparts. Blood Knights, 65 leadership. Mord's Engine, 60 leadership. So it doesn't really go with the undead team. And another unit we can mention here, for example, look at the Trolls. Regeneration, 40 leadership. Creep Horse got buffed over time with leadership, but they should have also pretty low, I think. They got 44. Regeneration as well. They're all Warhammer 1 units. This is the original factions in the game. And look at this. They add the Corpse Cart in a DLC. 55 leadership. Regeneration. They add the Mortis Engine in DLC. 60 leadership. Regeneration. How about the Stone Trolls? 40 leadership. They looks like they just copied the regular trolls and they added armor on them. So they kept all the trolls at the same leadership. New units that added the generation, they just got more leadership for some reason. The Stone Trolls don't need any leadership buffs. As they get experience, which will they get because they are a high damage unit. They don't really take damage. And the Lord will give them leadership as well. So the scrap upgrade is nonsense. The scrap upgrade for leadership is a noob trap. The one for the damage is OP. Think about it like this: if the trolls engage into a fight and they're winning, which they will with this damage, they get leadership buff. These units usually get easy leadership, so another 9 from just experience. A Lord without even its aura can give leadership if you're attacking and defending successfully. And when you're winning the fight, you get a leadership buff. So why would you buff leadership on a scrap upgrade when by buffing their damage you will increase their chance of the leadership stat winning, which will buff leadership in the first place? Devs, we're smart, we know what we're doing. Let's see trolls 40 leadership like those people back in the day of Warhammer 1, and they say trolls don't work. Literally, trolls, when you make them work, one of the best units. But you know, 40 leadership, they suck. And until the Stone Trolls get released, nobody even respects the trolls. If you can make undead work with 40 leadership, you can make trolls work with 40 leadership. Trolls will not crumble, they will not disintegrate, which makes them better.
Nurgle's Herald.
You just, you know, a lot of people don't know the mel in the game. how the leadership buffs work. So this unit has 58 leadership right now. But the battle starts, the flanks will be supported. It'll be close to its allies, so enemies will not lower its leadership by their presence. It might have a character nearby blue circle, so their base leadership of 50 means nothing. This 50 could go up to a 90. So know what affects the leadership, know how to use this leadership in your advantage, and units with low leadership, all of a sudden it's not a weakness anymore. And this was the key with trolls. Support their flanks, don't send them alone, make sure you have blue circle in the range, make sure they have some experience, use the war banner, stuff like that. They'll get leadership by winning. The trolls regenerate, which means as they take damage, they will not lose leadership. So they're one of the units that will keep their health high, and as the other units are gonna start losing, the trolls are gonna have a perma winning buff. Understand how the melee works, don't abuse one area of the game, and use this to your advantage. I feel sorry for the people who never played Vampire Counts with just a melee grinder. You're gonna miss so much about learning about the melee of the game. Before they added monitors to the game, trolls had some of the highest damage on the monsters. Nobody ever talked about this. They always talked about fort leadership. Yes, on Legend difficulty, you're going to lose in back in Warhammer 2, 5 leadership. Here you lose 4. Flank is secured if it's not breached. So if there are units close, allied units, they get 5 leadership buff here, for example. You know when you're defending greenskin settlements and you get that unit of trolls and you know you're gonna win at the door because nobody's gonna touch you on the flank. Those trolls will not let anybody pass the door. Then we have to have counter units to push the trolls from the door. Hold on. Hold on. We are, I think, was that Warhammer 2? I don't think that was Warhammer 1. That was that long Recruitment campaign. I just remember something. You see? Grimmer knows trolls OP. Man, I wish I put names on one of these screenshots. That was the Wood Elves. That was, I think, like a little. It was early in Warhammer 2. Hey, no, thank you. Okay, that was early. Oh, look at those poor trolls, 43 leadership. Fighting 4 Skaven armies. Trolls are stronger than ever because they changed how the regeneration works. Looking forward to see trolls with a new regeneration. Now it's stronger than before. So they're making that. You guys seen that? They were actually going here and then back here. Although the flaming attacks are not common, and you can avoid them. I've never really seen an army and thinking, oh shit, they got fire, I'm gonna lose. Fire was never really that threatening. While magic, on the other hand, it's definitely gonna be scarier than ever. Yeah, the pet finding is bugged, especially when sent too many units. What's worse than the pet finding is the AI indecisiveness to fight. You might think they're fighting, but half the time they're just running around the city. Even if you see them close to our units, they're trying to get through our units. That is broken behavior. Even when everything is fine, they're still gonna try to run around the city instead of creating bottlenecks. As is, sometimes you get surprised when they create a bottleneck because they can't go through your unit. What are we drinking today? Mineral water. A little bit lemon. They just screwed out the AI behavior for some reason. They need to find what's the issue. They need to go back to the drawing board, check under the hood. No, check under the hood, see what's the issue, what's causing this indecisiveness of the AI. And if that doesn't, if they don't find the problem there, if it's not as simple, then they have to put a couple different lines of code where they give AI different priorities. Even just making them stay in a part of the city will make it better than this is now. So change the current behavior, and if that doesn't work, then under the hood, otherwise there'll be no replay value from this shit. Especially if your army is always gonna be enough. And the fact you can't out-resolve these battles makes it so much worse. Have you been paying attention to this unit? How they're moving back and forth? The only time I've seen a decisive AI in a siege battle is when they had 40 units in a siege. When they have so many units, it doesn't matter where they position stuff. They were actually creating bottlenecks and start shooting. So let's say the enemy has 40 units in the city and over half of those range. Range units will not have to move much. They'll have a big range like crossmen. They'll be able to fire from a lot of positions. So by either giving them more units, it can make them a little bit more decisive. I mean, look at this. These are Streltsy. Look at what they're doing. Crossmen. Streltsy and Crossmen. This is a gunner and this is an archer. And they are moving in a part of the city which has nothing. And they've been moving this the whole battle. It's just an indecisive AI. And sometimes, look at Sargard here. They're trying to run through our unit. Sometimes they will attack for a few moments and they'll just start running through our unit again. At least these guys are fighting because they can't go through 3 units. What are these guys doing? I don't think it's that hard to tell the AI to create a setup here and here, and just wait. That would be like a lazy solution. Could be one of the instances, but just moving randomly around the city, AFKing on the other side, and the active troops just moving through the enemy. The only time I notice them fighting when there are like enough units in the area to fight them. Let's see what happens if we remove 2 units from this position. Will they still fight here? I only have 1 unit here now. So there's an Empire Spearman here, and there is Sargar, and they're still fighting here. So why is this unit actually doing the right thing? And why are this unit just making laps around the city? These units are actually doing a good thing. They're not even trying to recapture the point here, they're just fighting this unit. This makes sense. They can't win a battle, but they'll still try to give them a fight. And look at this guy's been running to the city and now they stopped in an area where there's no enemies. Meanwhile, the enemy has lost half the city, including the key building. And they're still just waiting here. These guys are the only ones doing the right thing. Sometimes when you're forced to do a fight, when you can auto-resolve, or sometimes you just want to do a fight, at least there should be some logical thing happening where the AI is giving you a fight and then doing some random shit. Because you still want to get a fight out of it, right? Even if they're outnumbered 3 times. And now they're outnumbered and they still have units positioned into nothing. It looks like in this battle, 1/3 of the AI was actually doing the right thing. Only 1/3. I don't know, it feels like sometimes AI having a mode that they are just, you know, where they try to win, as in if you're, if they have a chance to win, there should be some like criteria of the numbers, and when it just, you know, create a, you know, fight where they fight to the death. And if it comes to a fight when you can out-resolve, or we're going into them where there's going to be a fight to the death, it should be a fight to the death. They should not use the same behavior, you know, as in to try to win. We will not be had to spend half our time. I mean, the devs obviously don't want to put a lot of effort into making this, because, you know, this is what they're listed into. There are bad pet finding, indecisive AI, and a lot of weird shit worse than Warhammer 2. So what they do, they make auto-resolve worse. What will this do? This will make these battles literally most of your battles in the campaign. And then you're going to see the full extent of this bad AI. At least, you know, they could have just hidden their laziness and let us auto-resolve more, so we don't have to do these tedious battles. Remember what Warhammer 2 AI did? You send your units to the key building, and they would send every single unit they had in the city to that point, trying to retake it. Every single unit. Okay, look what they're doing now. We could try to explain this in like I don't know how many things, but there is nothing short of indecisive AI here, which goes through the rest of the game, you know, as unfinished. The settlements are great. Having these elements battle against proper Goddessons is great. Having them all the time, it's tedious, exhausting, bad for the game. Having them all the time with beta AI, it's even worse. I mean, look at this, we are fighting here, and their unit was docked here. Crossman. Do I need to say more? They were docked here. The AI has behavior to dock on these questionable areas. And I'm here killing their range unit, and they have a range unit docked here. And what's up with these docking points? That's another broken thing about these battles. I tried using a couple of times, and 9 out of 10 times these docking points are utter nonsense, useless. While the AI has behavior to dock their units, and they just wait there. Even if it makes no sense. I don't know why they even put these docking points here. Like I said, 9 out of 10, it's bad. There's gonna be a few situational ones where you could use this buff here. But if you see that behavior there, it's clearly it's broken. Docking on the wall, sure. Maybe docking where it makes sense. I don't know where it makes sense, you know. It's so limited, so restricting, and sometimes your units will not even shoot when docked. They will not see the enemy, even if they're in front of them. And the AI chooses to dock instead of shoot a unit that's turned their backs to it. So they teach the AI to dock, and the docking is bad, but they didn't teach the AI to deploy units properly inside of the city. They didn't instruct the AI to know what a bottleneck is. And this whole settlement battles are designed around bottlenecks. It's all about bottlenecks and towers. Long paths, and make sure the enemy has to go through a gauntlet of gunfire and towers and obstructions. That's how you win against a larger force, right? Instructed the AI to dock, but didn't instruct the AI to get a bottleneck. I think they should remove all the docking from the cities. Docking is a failure that just doesn't work. With the pet finding, the AI behavior, and behavior of ranged units and fire at will, the docking is a failure. They should just remove that from the game entirely. Docking will only work on the walls, and that's it. It works on the walls in Warhammer 2, and it works better in Warhammer 3 because you get buff. Actual buff, not just high ground. But docking inside the city, it's a fail. It should completely be removed from the game. Adding features to the game that just cripple the AI. Like they needed crippling, further crippling.
Plague.
Okay, they lost their capital here, tier 2 now. This is a war zone. I'm not even sure we should Goddesson here. I could hire a small army here and get rid of them. I can let 5 armies, we can afford 7. This buys us a whole turn. We are obviously going to have to destroy Great Orthodoxy, because by the time we get 4 souls, heck, we can probably destroy everybody by the time we get 4 souls. It's gonna be slow S. Slow S grinder. But that's the campaign we're playing here. Slow S grinder. It goes with Staff of Nurgle. They have Staff of Nurgle. It's my the character killer. Staff of Nurgle goes well with Spirit Leech. Spirit Leech kind of takes a lot of power to build up damage, but runs at visitations, and it's free. It's okay. We need to kill a character. This one actually can add up damage. So set bonus grants us 5 Nurgle corruption. Sure, why not? I feel like this is just like a nice example of a rare item. Gives you a decent bound ability, and you can use it twice. Should probably be on an enchanted item, not on a weapon, but yeah. On a weapon, this should probably have another line of text for a rare item. Like, I don't know, +6 attack. The set bonus is nothing really special, considering all these territories are 100 Nurgle corruption. We have such a large empire that the corruption is trivial. Look at this, rank 8 Nurglings. That is so hot. What the fuck are you gonna even do against it? It's like the ultimate emergency armies. Fuck Regiment's Renown, we can recruit rank 9 Nurglings. This doesn't even have a real army, so we don't have to plague this guy. And if this is not enough, then you got to play Cauldron and you give them Nurgle's Rot. And good luck killing the army without magic. Most of our armies are Nurglings because 2 reasons. We need more armies and we don't want to pay for them. We need more, but I don't want to pay for them.
Cultist of the plague.
I disbanded our second army so I can save some money. Okay. I feel like this guy could have reached that place if I put the banner on. There are 3 armies of these guys in the area. Where's the third one go? Stalton is not here. I kind of want him to put an army in this city. We are waiting for the rifts to open, meanwhile we are destroying the order.
Oh my god. Have you seen that shit? Holy shit. What
Old War asks, why does my specialist Dawn not show up on my battlefield after assault Garrison? So it's basically when the hero is on the campaign map, they are agents. They're agents, which means they have actions. And if you assault the garrison, means if it happens, the garrison takes damage, and that's it. Simple as that. If you want this agent to become a unit in the army, you need to put in the army. Heroes in the army are military units. Heroes on the campaign map are agents. And agents have various passive effects. They are formally used for spying, and they have various actions. So if you assault the Goddesson, if you succeed, the Goddesson takes a little bit of damage. And the goal is to you know, harass them a bit and then attack either immediately or the next turn, and hope they don't replenish full strength. So you kind of weaken them a bit. But the main role of Assault Goddesson is to level your hero, so get experience, and weaken the Goddesson so you can out-resolve battles. A little bit damage will not help you in a manual battle, while it will help you in out-resolve sometimes, so you can speed up things with, you know, later campaign. Yeah, if you use the one in your army to assault, he leaves the army, and you cannot put him in the army again this turn. So I want them to put an army here, so get a large battle here. So we don't have to chase them around. There's a bug on the interface, sometimes you click here and it will unequip your armor. I'm going to give this guy the strong plague for the first time. The best plague is the Nurgle's rot. It makes your armies impervious to damage unless they have magic. A situational plague for replenishment vanguard and for sacking and for growth. They're honestly, except this one, they're all good. Like this 4 are all good. But this one is just nothing special. This is poop. Well, this 4 are good. This one is to grow provinces. This one is to get a big payout from a big city. This one is to replenish a vanguard on the army. And this one is just to make your army impervious to physical damage. Well, this one is just bad compared to the other ones. Just like they had nothing out of this one. Oh shit! Let's weaken the enemy army and lower their spell resistance so we can defeat dwarves. This sounds like it's you know, plague of dwarves. Imagine thinking you need a plague to weaken dwarves against the grinder, when you can just buff your army in resilience and dwarves can't do shit because they have no magic. This is some I don't know. Somebody thought, yeah, this is the plague against the dwarves. Use that. I've never used this plague on the dwarves. Never. Dwarves have been a joke to defeat. Even when we're outnumbered against range. And the range is the best thing they can do. It's not armor. It's not attacks. It's the range. The range is dangerous. Nothing else is dangerous the dwarves have. It's the range. You cannot lower the resistance below 0, and 25 or 0. It doesn't matter much if you're using armor piercing damage. What matters is granting your army additional 20% physical resistance, so they don't do damage to you, or vanguard to your army, so their range gets immediately entangled. You get immediately on top of them. So they don't get much shooting, especially artillery. So this makes this one irrelevant. It's like, this is what I call a noob trap. This is a primary example of noob trap. It's like, yes. Guys, remember those memes in Warhammer 1? When people ask, how do you defeat dwarves? And you know what everybody would say? Get armor piercing. You know, because, you know, the Graveguard can kill them, you know. You need Graveguard great swords. And the Graveguard swords were dog shit in Warhammer 1. If you can't kill them in 10 seconds, your army sucks. Doesn't matter if you win them in 3 minutes, you know. As long as, you know, you don't win them immediately, your army sucks. What the fuck is your armor piercing going to do if you can't hit him? Defense is more important than armor. That's where dwarves excel, defense. Armor just goes well with it.
Father blesses me.
But what dwarves excel the most? Range. Range. Crossbows. Guns. Artillery. That is even better than armor or defense. I love Graveguard in Warhammer 1, yes. But the great swords were not good. Succubus, you're not listening to what I'm saying. What people are saying that you can't kill dwarves with Graveguard, you need armor piercing. And the Graveguard will grind down the dwarves. They can't kill them, the AI. Twisting my words. The Graveguard greatswords were bad for a long time. They are now kinda better than the regular Graveguard. Warhammer 1 great weapons sucked. Anything with the great weapons in their name sucked. Shields were superior. Maybe with the exception of Chosen. But Chosen shields will still win any encounter. They will not die to range. Why are we losing power here? There's a big army here. Hey, Mayor Dave, thank you.
Nurgle.
25 wins.
The joy of disease.
And Everson White Dwarfs a bronze shield, never. Do you have to say that, you know, that word again? I think we already mentioned it a few times today. So I'm just gonna make you make a better conclusion. White Dwarfs have bronze shields. These turns are gonna be super long with the expansion every direction.
The fetid Plume Master.
This is the first time we put Nurgle Sword in this army. Exalt Plague Bearers 45 physical resistance is disgusting. That is sickening.
Magaton.
Best to merge Nurglings before a large battle. Nurglings are easily replaceable. And you can recruit them at rank 9 as well. They're so cheap, it doesn't even matter if they die.
I refuse.
Ooh, somebody ambushed us, boys! I have no idea who the fuck is here in the first place. I would say each exalted plague bearer has between 15 and 20,000 health, even if you don't count physical resistance. If you count physical resistance, it's way over 20,000. Look at that Nurgling at the back. Oh no, we got ambushed by that army we defeated. They got artillery on two sides. They put the hailstorms in the trees, wow. The leadership damage is probably the only thing that can hurt us on Nurglings when they're spread all around. Even if 10 Nurglings get killed, it doesn't really matter that much, but there's a follow-up battle here at stake. We could have just tried to flee here, but we'll kill them. This is ideal, because we're just gonna destroy all their military. My guy dropped order the moment they started fleeing. This is probably one of those flying units that you have the easiest time disengaging, but it seems to have the hardest time disengaging, and it looks like it's in the air the whole time. This might be that whole issue they mentioned with the flying units. I think the rot flies and the plaguing drones are in that category that have this issue. It doesn't even feel like it's 2000 mass, it feels like it has like a 200 mass. This is nice, man. I just wish we had more field battles. I felt like most of the battles have been settlement battles. We should check the statistics. This is glued nice on chariots. Reminds me of Terrorgeist. See how it got glued on the chariots? Sometimes I feel like it has way higher hit chance than normal when that happens. How was that army that we attacked and they fled? Was a follow-on? No, this was they attacked us on their turn, and they lost and they ambushed. And then we killed many in the first fight, and lots of artillery. Cannons are probably the most ideal against Nurglings with this physical resistance. Because they're gonna guarantee kills. Mortars and the Hailstorms are just gonna cause damage, and then we can heal damage. We can't heal dead people. Or dead demons. Should get a Virulent Contagion considering we have access to rank 7 Nurglings. On this extra armies, the Bionic Buzzers makes the most sense. Gives us an option to get some more some flyers. Flyers can go around and crush other units, just like 2 Roar Flies, Plague Drones can clear a couple of range units. But this is just an option, doesn't mean we have to get them.
Make Rotbearer stronger.
There's quite a large Goddesson here. And we have lost 4.5 units here, huh? We're definitely pushing this army here, but if you're not causing aggro on the enemies, they're gonna cause aggro on us. Which turns this slowly into the domination game, right? Because as long as there are enemies on our borders, there will never be peace. And there will never be peace, turns will take 1+ hours. But this is how they made the campaign with the demons. Unless you're just AFKing in your capital waiting for the rifts. It's honestly quite ridiculous that we can actually attack something like this and consider it a winning. Don't even have other heroes in the army. Isn't this ridiculous, guys? We've been pushing Nurgle armies to see what they can do. So 3 characters. I feel like if this was Warhammer, 3 characters alone would give us grief here. But the Empire is lobotomized, and there's just a minor faction here as well. Nurglings are a little bit too good, because they get a lot of synergies with how Nurgle works. While the Empire is lobotomized. Let's put a prediction, you never know. Maybe they surprise us. Nurglings are probably in the same tier as Halberdiers. In my opinion. But rarely there's gonna be a full army on the same tier as Halberdiers. Don't have the rank 7 bell skill. If we had the rank 7 bell skill, the Nurglings would receive another 5 attack and 15 missile resistance, which is quite nice. Let those Hellstorms shoot the other side first. I don't see the hero, the Lord here. Have I played the Elden Ring? Yes. There's a playlist if you missed George. George, is it right? I'm still playing it. Just want to finish this campaign first. I got I don't know, about 80 hours in it, 70 hours, something like that. Check below the stream, they got playlists for all the playthrough, current playthrough, and all the boss fights. That we've seen so far. Somebody asked me earlier about if I'm enjoying this faction. I'm sorry, I totally got out of mind. I enjoy this faction, yeah. I don't want to say I love this faction because, you know, the green names are gonna get ideas, but I do enjoy it. This faction has a very nice playstyle. Most of the plagues are good enough that it's fine on the campaign map. I think economically on the campaign they have some limitations, but not every faction had everything. But for me this is an enjoyable and a fun faction. And I think it's gonna be better in Immortal Empires. This is like a more resilient vampire counts that are unique enough that they vary from the vampire counts. But if you ever play the grinder vampire counts, this faction is it, just more resilient. Well, of course the units vary, the magic vary, so they're kind of both, you know, in their own boat. It's gonna be kind of silly that the guy recovers. I'll put this guy in the forest just in case. That's kind of spooky, we should have been there sooner. We can reach the rockets now. Kinda missed my window there for full advantage. I'm not sure what's gonna happen now. Lord of Nurgle will be way better here, but it's not critical that the Lord of Nurgle is priority for this army. Discipline, I feel like it's gonna be better to pick if it's available. There's an okay son. To attack those mortars. The War of Agons mortars are incredible for the AI. Gonna get Arc Conduit. This is a battle where Arc Conduit means a lot. Try to bridge formation here. We got 5 uses. This is regeneration and vigor restore. You go for that crossman there. This is gonna add a lot of damage on these plague bears. A little big grinder on infantry. This is like a deal for them. Kinda surprised that the Nurglings get affected by the explosions. They're not really a small entity, but they're not really large either. You could terrify them here, maybe. They have to be wavering to get terrified here. It's too early. This one is close. Okay, we can terrify them here. 2 units, maybe these guys follow up. Nice, follow up, follow up. On-demand terror, sometimes nice to deliver. Wavering units should be near guaranteed terrified. While a shaking unit, it's hard to say. The fact that they got terrified, they're taking massive damage in a short time. Even from Nurglings. It just changes the whole fighting here. Soul Blight gives Nurglings a lot of damage. Since the Nurglings have no AP and these units have armor, but if they're not armor, Nurglings do a lot more damage. That's like the weakest part, weakest thing about Nurglings, their AP. They're slow dealing damage. No surprises here. Decisive victory. Can let that unit escape. Taking massive damage but no casualties means full health at the end bell. RuneScape ask Slaanesh or Nurgle? Slaanesh, of course. Have you seen Exalted Keeper of Secrets? I don't care how thick is the Exalted Great Clean clean one. Exalted Keeper of Secrets is the best model. Don't you give me feels weird, man. Exalted Keeper of Secrets has unique skills. Maybe you can't have splash damage in this. Maybe that's why it's always consistent damage. I think the Great Unclean one is an amazing model. I'm a little bit sad about the state of Great Demons due to not-about spells. They should probably get fixed in the future. And even sadder because the Exalted Great Unclean one is... they haven't put more effort into it. But I don't want to go talk into this every single day, every single time I play this faction. Just like, I'm disappointed. But the model is incredible. Look at that city slicker there. This rate, we are never gonna get critical mass on Howdy again. I haven't even killed that many.
affection.
Strakon says, I'm working on critical mass on High King or Heimskar. I haven't hit Heimskar the whole year. Every time I hear Howdy, I get +1 leadership for the rest of the day. Bring Bing Howdy once, twice, 3 times in 2 initiatives. Haven't heard how the whole year. Yeah. Yeah, it's up there to go. I read the one before. Sometimes I put my bookmark tab and I don't have like a, you know, YouTube. Sometimes I forget to, you know, just type we got a YouTube. And I click by accident, you know, Howdy. And then Howdy starts playing and I feel like, so like it's like I feel like I robbed the bank or something. Like I stole, you know.
Herald Lyca. Best plague bearer.
Crushing defeat. I think they will learn the first 2 times. It is a walled city, right? And we can climb walls. Ah. Crushing defeat, huh? Oh, let's see. What's up with these green names, guys? They always give me feels weird man. What I said about feels weird man in this channel? Why these green names always have to, you know, be like this? Moderation, exactly. Exactly. You know, like with end stream. Like with end stream. You guys have been really respecting moderation. Nobody's been, you know, just, you know, end stream, end stream, end stream, end stream. They would not have been organizing, you know. That's what I think about moderation. I'm not talking about, you know, something that reaches critical mass and then we play it 300 times. We need more moderation, like, you know, end stream. This is like, it kind of tells you that that's the price of moderation. 200 something thousand shekels. So most of the time you get end stream just randomly. Just because people are gonna think twice before spending 200 4,000 shekels. But when you know, there is no price, screw moderation, right? Like that Norse campaign, we had High King playing for 2 hours. I listened every minute of it, Merconus. You know you're a true Davi lover when you listen every minute of critical mass of High King speech. I'm gonna send these guys around. I don't think we can hide them anywhere in the trees here. There are no trees. Problem with Nurglings and the walls, the doors are tough to crack. Nurglings have issues attacking the doors. So about Lord Dung gets stuck on the wall. Attacking the door with Nurglings, less is more. Look how fast they abandon the walls. Ooh, that's that settlement where Bellicor got bugged. Should not land there. This is a Bellicor got bugged, right? Yeah, we should not be landing for attacks below the wall. They're moving their artillery here. Wow. I think it's the elevation, some bug with elevation here. It's there's some broken pet finding and shit. I don't think they tested all the terrain for landings. I don't think they expected the units to toggle flying when they were initially designing Warhammer 3. Might have added later, and that's why it's causing the issues. Can cast 3 Spirit Leeches or 1 Feather Biuna. Let's see how much damage 1 Spirit Leech. It looks like Feather Biuna has more damage than 3 on a unit like that. Nurgling's got poor damage, so take a while to break the door. I don't think this building. Why do they build a building in the middle of the road? I don't think this building exists on another layout, so they didn't update the pet finding here. I'm glad to see that the Feather Biuna actually does more damage than 3 Spirit Leech. I think 3 Miasma actually beats Feather Biuna. It's a different lore, so I guess it's okay. Maybe not the new Feather Biuna. Especially if it's upgrade Miasma. Yeah, this is bugged. This doesn't not just happen with Nurglings, it happens with many units. I want to show you something, guys, you know, like something that's really, really fucked up. I'm really sad I haven't really even checked this one on. Should be in other videos, right? This one was really bad to see. Especially because this unit's always wrecked the door in the past. I think it's here.
The ultimate hunter.
This is bug. Look at this. Yeah, probably with animations here.
Oh my god.
But this is a door, and this is a monstrous infantry. Monster infantry which just deletes the door. If you ever use trolls or miners on door, you know how they just get deleted. There's some kind of problem with units on when they attack the door. And it happens not just with monster infantry, but also with Nurglings, it seems. So basically we got ogres on the door here. Probably with animations here. Look at this, not damage. Look at what the unit is doing. They're hitting, but there's no damage. Jesus, they can't even attack the door right because of some kind of mass problem. I think this is happening with Nurglings as well. I mean, if you ever use Minotaurs or Trolls, you know that this unit delete doors. This unit should be able to delete doors. So, like I said, less is more. 2 had issues with attacking the door, now we have 1 on the door. And seems to be the damage is increased. But sometimes I think they're doing attack animations, but there's no damage happening.
Nurgle's herald. Ada Moda. Walking lot.
That bug move again. I'm the 7 on the road fly. Seems like Feta Bayuna and Spirit Lich go well together since the change. Spirit Lich no longer goes for the kills for some reason. Unit? I'm here, I'm here. Why is this unit wavering, getting shot down? Something tells me Nurglings would never waver. Even if they're getting destroyed, they would still have a smile on their face. Shouldn't Nurgle have more mortal units, or it's more demons? Or are they gonna add patches where they're gonna add more mortal units to the Demons of Chaos? You know, like Chaos Warriors or Cultists and stuff like that. Isn't the Cultist of Nurgle and the Forsaken Nurgle the only mortal units Nurgle has? And they forgot the Nurgle buff on the Forsaken in the first place. Like the Forsaken of Nurgle are the only unit in the Nurgle roster that doesn't have Cloud of Flies. I guess Chaos Spawn are mortal as well. Chaos Spawn, Cultist of Nurgle, and the Forsaken of Nurgle. And the Forsaken have been Forsaken, no Cloud of Flies. And they gave them fear for some reason. Forsaken should all be causing fear anyways. Like, it's kind of bizarre Forsaken don't cause fear in the first place. This fear is added on the Forsaken of Nurgle. They really need to add Cloud of Flies on the Forsaken. Some wise guy at CEA, you know, instead of giving technology to give Forsaken Cloud of Flies, they gave them minus 2% upkeep. You're never gonna use this unit in single player because they're shit. Oh, Heralds of Demons.
Footprints. Trail of maggots. Nurgle blesses. Herald goes. Mighty decay.
I have a feeling the Empire in the future will have a couple of religious units with magic attacks. Dwarves might get like, what? Demon Slayers? With magic attacks? So saying a Demon Slayer would be a hero or a lord? Another unit? Why the fuck is this building here in the middle of the street? What the fuck? Which idiot put a building here in the middle of the street? There's a barricade here as well. Imagine getting attacked by an army of Nurglings and Herald casts a spell on you, which makes you laugh until you die. Laugh yourself to death. While you're getting swarmed by Nurglings. I should play a city planning game. I'm like every year I'm gonna play some not the shit SimCity. What's the other one called? The good one that released later. City Skylines, I think. Every year I'm telling myself I'm gonna play some City Skylines, but you know, it's like I feel like I just forget every time. One second. Okay. This was the capital of Ostermark, I think. These factions cities look like kept at tier 3 for some reason. Ostermark got secured. Now we borrow until Beckland. Stillen as well here, huh? And Ostland. On the other side. This is good climate. Much vision here, huh? Is it me or we've been on this tunnel for over 2 hours now? Please tell me it is not so.
Herald Lyca.
No, where we've been on turn 80 for over 2 hours now. The way this continues, people are gonna start calling again the slowest turns on Total War. Yeah, but must be huge. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff happening. We can out-resolve battles and we get over 20 enemies. It's basically like playing a Distal War style campaign, except in Warhammer 3. You can see here. We got 50. We got 50 settlements. It's turn 80. And turns take 2 hours. By the time we get the 4th soul, we're gonna conquer the world. Unless we draw borders somewhere.
Obey, Herald.
How to get more road flies to recruit? You get the Lesser Garden of Blight. My bad. Living Tree of Decay, which for some reason has 8 tiers. I don't know why. Don't ask me. I think it's a fail that somebody put Furies here and not on the basic military. Just what you ask me, should have been probably here. So it takes forever to make one cycle, and Rot Flies is a one of these units. This building is so bizarre. The fact they put Chaos Furies here and not here, it makes no sense to me. This building should probably have 6 tiers, starting with Chaos Furies. And Rot Flies should be on first 2 tiers with 1 less tier on this one. Rot Flies is not even that good of a unit at this stage, Gal. We can get Plague Drones instead. Plague Drones are the superior version. This is so bizarre with this decision here. I think this is a screw up. I think this is a screw up, and they might realize it at some point. Furies, first 2 tiers. Rot Flies tier 3. This is not a tier 3 unit. Then you get Plague Drones, Dead Heads. This building should have 2 or 3 less tiers. And the Furies should be on this one here. On probably 2 tiers as well. Similar to this building here. It seems badly designed. Especially for the Furies. I'm not even talking about Rot Flies. Rot Flies are irrelevant. You got Plague Drones, they're pretty much the same, just better. 250, 225. So Rot Flies are relevant. Goddesson and multiplayer unit, right? But the Furies, it's bizarre. And this building you're only going to build in the capital. Most likely in tier 3, if not tier 4. So the Furies kinda don't even fit this faction. The Region of Decay. We got 2 campaign heroes there.
Cultist of the Fly Lord.
Infect the seas! First, her father requires prayer.
And then want this guy in the main army.
The march.
Disciplined,
Despair.
disciplined cultist of Nurgle. Without the buff from the realm of chaos, this place is gonna be annoying. What more places need those control buildings without that buff? Light of the Grow is here. There are the growths for control. I guess we'll fight Skaven here. It's like turns take only over 2 hours, why not 3 hours? The fabled 3-hour turn 80. Oh Jesus. I had that buff from the Realm of Chaos for control, but it's gone now. There's all kinds of corruptions in our provinces and it causes massive negative public order, nothing we can do about it. We can only remove it by 5 and sometimes population is 5, like the clan Molder's capital. So we need control, commandment and control building at the same time. Okay, this is what's gonna happen with Prague here. This is the last army of this faction. They can add 2 more heroes to the army. Taking more attrition than we are taking, so it should be fine.
Serve only the motherland.
Taking attrition from the egg, and they don't have home region. Maybe we should cook a plague for some money. Somewhere away from the battlefield, though. Why is there no plague that increases public order? Will be a plague also that lowers other corruptions. Kinda crazy that's limited -5 with 100 of your corruption. You think, you know, we would have a ways to remove other corruptions properly. That's an oversight in the corruption design, especially for the demons. I feel like for Demons of Chaos cultists, you have access to minus corruption as well on a campaign skill. There's a public order 1, yeah. Total 6. I just remembered. Thanks, Wolf. I just remembered. Gonna be useful without the Chaos Realm buff. What is this? Not even 3-hour turn 1 for the day? Got 50 settlements.
Father Nurgle. Sickliness is next to godliness, don't you think?
At war with the Exodus of Corn for some reason. Fall of Kislev here, at least the Ice Court. Still the same turn, Gal. Still the same turn. Now the AI plays that their turn 80. We might still reach 3 hours here. Makes me happy destroying Kislev with the demons. Imagine playing Demons of Chaos and letting Kislev live. Disgusting. It's like playing Whimper Council and let the Empire live. Instead of creating Eternal Empire. Does mean we got these bug towers, because the settlement is lower tier. Sitting siege towers, we got road flies. The Taliban on the wall. Nurgle can go on a wall. The flies are very good when they fight on the wall. Someone really likes this random walls outside of walls, like commonly used in a lot of settlements. We got Kislev towers, but those 4 towers have unrealistic amount of health. Somebody gave the siege towers ridiculous health for some reason. You see that health? That's so stupid. They should have half as much health. These are top tier towers as well. So those projectiles are really bad at long range. Screw your enemy, I got a date! Bell? What bell? Like, I'm going there. What's there? I don't know. Nobody's fighting here, they're just running into the city. Sometimes the range units stop and shoot.
One eye rotters.
Let's have the item from the Corn's realm. Where the hell are they going here? I didn't even know you can actually move here. What is this? Going around? That's a weird path. Like, how is this faster than this? You going to all houses? I didn't build a barricade now. This is what's left of Ice Core. They might put more heroes to this army though. The Great Orthodoxy still exists though. Are there any skill picks you would do differently on cricket if you play Nurgle again? Well, I'm not gonna play Nurgle again in Realm of Chaos, so it would be different. It's the difference between Nurglings and something else. Either Nurglings for easier early game and economy, long game, or special into something else. So there's like two decisions to do. You're gonna stick with Nurglings for economic reasons and easier early game, or if you're gonna specialize in different units. So you have two options really. So I don't think there's only just one option, it's like just two there. Turn 81. Because if you specialize in Nurglings, you have some really nice buffs on them, and then you have some strong economy because you don't have to pay for the other units. And then your second, third, and fourth army come quicker, and they can be stronger. As in, the best unit for Blackfather's army is Nurgling.
No higher power than I. A cake.
Oh god, it's another 3-hour turn. There's another 3-hour turn. Okay, this is gonna be it, boys. This is gonna be it. We're gonna be playing Elden Ring next time, and Nurgle will continue some other time. I'm gonna take a nice walk and chill. Tomorrow will be Elden Ring, probably for the next 2 days. Then we're gonna do probably a long stream of this. Okay, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.
I serve only the ice court.
Stop clicking, Yellich!